The headlines this morning: Anambra State Government to inaugurate State Education Council to promote qualitative and accessible education. Anambra Homeland Affairs Commissioner Chief Anara urges communities to key into progressive administration of Governor Soludo. Chief of Naval Staff Gamble urges Navy personnel to defend democracy. On the foreign scene this morning, 14 people die as bus plunges into ravine in Pakistan. Well, before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Good morning to you and welcome to the news. I am Ebere Ugonna. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has tasked the international community, particularly the United Nations system, on active participatory role to assist the country and Anambra State. Governor Soludo was speaking when the United Nations delegation led by the resident and humanitarian coordinator in Nigeria, Mr. Matthias Schimmel, paid him a courtesy visit at the Governor's Lodge, Amobia. We have details.
According to the governor, the visit is significant in the history of Anambra State, pointing out that for many years the United Nations was without an office in the southeast until his administration came on board. Speaking on his administration's agenda for Anambra State in the areas of security, law and order, economic transformation, human capital development, rule of law, value system, and the environment, Professor Soludo emphasized that his government wants to benchmark with the rest of the world in transforming Anambra State into a livable and prosperous homeland, while saying that more than half of the indigenous population of Indian Anambra live outside the state. The governor announced that his administration will soon inaugurate the Anambra Education Council to further engender qualitative and accessible education, as well as establish the Strategy Execution and Evaluation Office. In his response, Mr. Shmale said the visit was to familiarize with the Southeast and remove the perception that they are only interested in the Northeast. He emphasized that though they may not be able to make input in terms of financial assistance, they could assist in area of technical support. He explained that one of their targets is to identify where things are working, learn from it, and make sure that other countries capitalize on it. The Secretary to the State Government, Professor Soluchukwu Level, Chief of Staff to the Governor, Mr. Ernest Ezajui, Chief of Protocol and Deputy Chief of Staff to the Governor, Mr. Chinedu Nwoye, Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning, Mrs. Chiamaka Nnake, among other top government officials, were present at the event.
Communities in Anambra State have been urged to key into programs of progressive administration of Governor Chukwuma Soludo. The Commissioner for Homeland Affairs, Chief Chikodi Anara, made the call while commissioning security gates built and installed by concerned members of Umuru Village in Nobi, Idemili South Cantal area. Paul Ezeoke has details.
Chief Anara, while commending Umuru Village for the initiative, noted that it will help to secure the area and urge other villages and communities in the state to emulate them by contributing in one way or another to achieve the governor's vision of livable and prosperous homeland. He restated that the governor has sustained war on crime in all forms to create conducive atmosphere to boost socio-economic activities across the state.
All the youth of Umuru Village for this initiative. The one I feel very particularly I going to meet the creative mind. Government has declared war on crime in all its facets. The government has been truly committed to fighting all social criminality, whichever way they come. And I thank God for what we have been able to do to the government so far.
Also speaking, the special advisor to the governor on security, retired Air Vice Marshal Ben Shobi, said the initiative was in line with Governor Soludo's policies of community-driven approach in tackling challenges in the state, noting that Anambra and Igbo are known for community development efforts in complementing what the government is doing. Air Vice Marshal Shobi expressed the hope that members of communities should also embark on projects that can create employment opportunities for young people.
So we want to see so many more things like this come up. So I want to, first of all, appreciate all those who have had to spend money to see that this is done. I don't think there's any community I know in Anambra where collectively in a very short space of time that you can have that youths were able to put 20 gates in a community. I'm not saying the entire Nobi. So that is a very great thing, a very good thing that you have done, and I want to believe that you will do so many more.
In his speech, the special advisor to the governor on youth empowerment program, Dr. Nelson Amenoga, who donated one of the security gates, explained that out of the 20 security gates targeted for the project, 10 gates have already been installed in various parts of the village, while others will soon be in place.
In response to the agenda of Mr. Governor on youth, and most importantly, the community taking ownership of security in the respective community, we've come to set up security gates across. We can have 20 of them.
In his remarks, a former President General of Novi Town Union, Dr. Mike Omenua, who also built one of the gates, commended Chief Ogugwa Nemelo for initiating the project, and others who also contributed their quota, noting that the project will not only benefit people of Nobi, but entire residents of the area. A youth leader of the village, Chief Ogugwa Nemelo, who also built 8 security gates, said he embarked on the project to support Governor Soludo's drive to secure the state, and assured that he will contribute more in repositioning the community and the state, urging privileged individuals in various parts of the state to support Governor Soludo's efforts to elevate the state to a pride of place by encouraging and empowering youth to acquire skills, to be productive and self-reliant, to discourage them from crime and social vices. The ceremony was witnessed by some members of the community and other stakeholders. From Nobi in Idemili South Council area, Paul Ezoke, ABS News.
The Association of Anambra State Women with Disabilities has been inaugurated. The inauguration, which took place at Amobia Oka South Council area, attracted all clusters of the Disability Association as well as government representatives, among others. Queen Anibogo completes the story.
In her welcome address, the woman leader of the group, Comrade Ncheta Nwanokwara, explained that the vision and mission of the group is to integrate women with disability into the larger society, setting strategic space to meet the needs and aspirations of their women through advocacy and engagement of stakeholders. While mentioning series of their achievements, Comrade Nwanokwara also listed some of their challenges to include discrimination against them, especially in areas of marriage, employment, inaccessibility of public places by their members, among other challenges. She said that the establishment of the association will enable them receive adequate support from government and as well partner stakeholders in different sectors of the society, ensure adequate inclusion of qualified members of the group in policy making and developmental activities.
The reason why this group is inaugurated today is because we have been acting unofficially since inception of activities. So without this inauguration, government and the JONAPID and the other NGOs will not recognize us. We don't know that we are functioning in Anambra State. But for the sake of this inauguration now, government will recognize us, NGO will recognize us, even government at state, federal and local government, they will recognize us. NGOs in Anambra State will recognize us. They will know that fully women with disability are really functioning in Anambra State.
In his remarks, the Anambra State Chairman, Joint National Association of Persons Living with Disability, Comrade Ugochukwu Okeke, pointed out that the group is not a parallel group of Joint National Association of Persons Living with Disability, but was established to give voice to their female members and to prevent people taking advantage of them because of their physical challenge. He added that Joint National Association of Persons Living with Disability will continue to liaise with relevant authorities to ensure that each member of the women wing of the group acquire a skill to enable them contribute meaningfully to the society.
It is not a parallel body, to JONAPID. It is a part of JONAPID. Our constitution stipulated that there will be a woman leader in our organization taking care of the women. And we, the executive of JONAPID, find it necessary to make sure that we allow our women to be strong and stand on their feet. That is why we give them that opportunity to come together as a body under the supervision of our parent body, JONAPID.
In her talk on gender-based violence, Mrs. Eukaria Anekwe, a representative of the chairman, Anambra State Disability Rights Commission, Mr. Chuks Ezewuzie, told the gathering that the Disability Rights Commission is for the overall well-being of the physically challenged in Anambra State and asked them not to allow anyone to take advantage of them.
As women with disability. Ana prayer on the model mana ọ na-ekele Chukwu n'ụzọ pụrụ iche na finally today na inaugurate this body. Owe can see you nnukwu congratulations. And I hereby say congratulations on his behalf. Daalụ n'orinne. Na-etufuru oge unu na mkpọka ihe ọgbaghara a na-adọnye nwunye di.
Dr. Ifeoma Okoli, a blind member, encouraged them to ensure they leave a positive impact wherever they find themselves. In a vote of thanks, the public relations officer of the association, Ms. Chidimma Anajemba, appreciated God for making the day a reality and thanked all that graced the occasion for their efforts. Cultural dance, drama, and poem recitation featured during the event. Queen Anebogo, ABS News.
Meanwhile, the deaf community has called for engagement of trained interpreters in all healthcare facilities across Anambra State. This was made known in Awka during a project launch on Deaf Inclusive Sexual Health, DISH, by the Deaf Women Aloud Initiative, DY, in collaboration with We Lead and Havos. Onyenya Gubeze has details.
Flagging up the project, the State Commissioners for Health, Dr. Afam Obidike, and his Women and Social Affairs counterpart, Mrs. Ifi Obinabo, thanked the team for their efforts in ensuring the well-being of deaf women in Anambra State. He expressed willingness to collaborate and support the project's objectives. Earlier in her welcome address, the executive director of the project, Mrs. Helen Binyoku Alays, expressed sadness that deaf women in Nigeria, including Anambra, are being excluded from sexual and reproductive healthcare services due to communication barrier, stigma, discrimination, and healthcare providers' attitude barriers. She recalled that the Nigerian Disability Rights Act and the Anambra State Disability Rights Act require all institutions, both public and private, across the country, recognize the rights of people with disabilities and provide access to information through the use of professional sign language interpreters. Mrs. Binyoko Alays urged the state government, non-governmental organizations, civil society organizations, disabled people organizations, and philanthropists to work together to ensure that deaf women and girls have equal access to healthcare services.
Government and private across the country to recognize the rights of persons with disabilities, including women. Including women and girls to get access to more information and have professional sign language interpreters in public and private facilities, including accessible sexual and reproductive health information and services. In view of the above, we are calling on government, state, non-government organizations, civil society organizations, disabled people organizations, philanthropists to join hands in helping the women and girls to have access to health services. We have representatives from the medical associations, the Jonapid, and different organizations that are here today for this.
Goodwill message. The chairman of Anambra State Disability Rights Commission, Barrister Chuks Ezewuzie, stated the importance of the study of sign language in school, as well as inclusion of sign language in social and religious activities. He advised members of the deaf community to study disability rights law in order to be aware of their rights. Others who expressed support to the organization were Chairman Medical Women Association of Nigeria, Anambra State Chapter, Dr. Chinenye Onubogu, represented by Dr. Atuebu, the Chairman, the Joint National Association of Persons Living with Disability, Anambra State Chapter, Mr. Ugochukwu Okeke. Short drama about the ordeal deaf women passed through featured at the events.
Moving on to our national stories now. Ahead of the 2023 general elections, the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Anwul Gambo, has charged Nigerian Navy personnel to defend and support the country's democracy and constituted authorities. Vice Admiral Gambo has also charged naval personnel not to engage in partisan politics and taking the laws into their hands that could bring disrepute to the service in the course of duty. The Navy chief, who gave the charge in Abuja, noted that they have a right as citizens of Nigeria to register and cast their votes during the elections. Represented by the Chief of Policy and Plans, Vice Admiral Saidu Garuba, the CNS charged them to return to the barracks after casting their vote, as any personnel found hobnobbing with politicians would have themselves to blame. Gambo, while noting the various security challenges bedeviling the country, said the route march is aimed at developing the physical and mental alertness of personnel to meet the dynamics of contemporary security operations. He also said it is targeted at fostering esprit de corps and providing an avenue for relaxation. And on business news, the head of the Ukrainian President's office, Andriy Yermak, has said Nigeria and other African countries might face worsening food crises as a result of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Yermak, in an interview, said the war is directly affecting most African nations. He said the rise in food and energy prices translates to higher prices for all goods, noting that it directly touches the interest of the majority of the inhabitants of the African continent. Yermak said that Russia and Ukraine are among the top 5 global suppliers of wheat, barley and maize, noting that the war has affected the prices of staple foods, particularly bread, in the country. On the foreign scene, at least 19 people died and 14 were injured when a bus plunged into a ravine near a small town in Pakistan West, an official said. The bus skidded off a slippery road near Danisar in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province as it was en route to Quetta from Rawalpindi. Local official Ejaz Jabba told newsmen. Pakistan has an appalling road safety record with frequent accidents due to poorly maintained roads and vehicles, as well as reckless driving. At least 22 people died when a minibus plunged into a ravine in Balochistan last month. And on sports news, the Confederation of African Football (CAF) has announced a 150% increase in prize money for winners in this year's Women's African Cup of Nations AWAN, which has begun in Morocco. The CA president, Dr. Patrice Motsepe, who disclosed this in a statement, said the increment was as a result of a new policy by the Africa's football governing body to make women football in Africa competitive. According to him, the president of CAF and executive committee ranked women football amongst top priorities of the Confederation. This year's winner will go home with prize money of $500,000, which is a 150% increase of $300,000. Previous winners of the competition got $100,000. Meanwhile, this year's edition will be a groundbreaking one, as the tournament will for the first time see the use of the video assistant referee at all 28 match venues. And that's it on the news this morning. But remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. Subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television Oka. Follow us on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And just before we go this morning, a quick look at all major stories. Anambra State Government is to inaugurate State Education Council to promote qualitative and accessible education. Anambra Homeland Affairs Commissioner Chief Anara has urged communities to key into progressive administration of Governor Soludo. Chief of Naval Staff Gambo has urged Navy personnel to defend democracy. Now the foreign scene we brought to you that 14 people have died as boss plunges into ravine in Pakistan. Well, here is a special message again. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that's the size of our package this morning. Many thanks for joining us. Good morning, Anambra. Continue shortly. Please stay with us.